Premier Planet, my name is Justin Barlow, and I am beyond excited to come at you with the results from PPW's live studio taping right here in the Premier Studio this last Saturday night. And if you folks weren't able to make it out to Woodstock to see Premier Pro Wrestling live and in action, then you can follow us on PivotShare at premierprowrestling.pivotshare.com. That's our official streaming service. Or for exclusive matches and exclusive content you can't find on PivotShare or anywhere else for that matter, find us at patreon.com/premierprowrestling. Currently 3 tiers you can choose from, and each tier, it's gonna get you a little bit more in terms of rewards. So find us on PivotShare and Patreon to see what went down at PPW this last Saturday night. We had a very, and I mean a very, unique concept, a tournament concept, which would crown 2 new contenders to Matt Vine's Challenge Pro Championship, because remember, the Challenge Pro Cup is a triple threat title. The way this tournament worked is every participant drew a number at random right before the match. The ones who drew numbers 1 and 2, they would team up against the ones who drew numbers 3 and 4. 3 and 4 would team up, and we'd have ourselves a tag team match. Now, if one of the participants were to be eliminated, his partner would have to continue the match as a handicap match against the other 2. Now, if he himself is eliminated, the other 2 move on in the tournament. But if that one partner can somehow eliminate a member of the opposing team, he would then team up with that guy's partner to form a new team, and together they would move on in the tournament. And this went until we had only 2 participants remaining, and they ended up being Mr. Electricity Chase Gosling, one half of the Premier Pro Wrestling World Tag Team Champions, and Premier Academy standout and fan favorite DeMarcio. They would go on to the main event to challenge Matt Vine for that beautiful Challenge Pro Cup. But before that, we saw a 30-minute Iron Man match. The new king of the Iron Man, Tim Castle, who dethroned Matt Vine just 1 week prior to be crowned the king of the Iron Man. He put his newly won title on the line against Mero Mero Iniestra, a former 2-time world champion, a former Challenge Pro Cup holder, a multiple-time tag team champion. This one was exciting to say the very least. And the only way you're going to be able to see this is this week by way of our Patreon, our Iron Man matches, our Patreon exclusive. So that address again, patreon.com/premierprowrestling. It should be scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. Hit us up on there to see this Iron Man match. And at the end of the day, Tim Castle comes from behind a very, very daunting deficit to retain the king of the Iron Man throne, and he was able to defeat Iniestra at almost the last second. You're going to want to see every moment of intensity in this match on Patreon. And then it was main event time. DeMarcio and Chase Gosling earned their right to challenge for the Challenge Pro Championship, but don't forget the third man in this match, the modern-day gladiator, Vinicus. Matt Vine, the reigning Challenge Pro champion. But before the match got underway, Chase was getting ready, and from behind comes Slick Willie, who, due to some of Chase's more questionable tactics, was eliminated from the Contenders tournament earlier in the evening. Willie got a measure of revenge, and Chase was laid out for a good 7-8 minutes on the outside thanks to the attack by Willie. But in the end, Chase gets back in the ring. All 3 men tie it up, but at the end of the day, your winner and still Challenge Pro champion, the modern-day gladiator, Vinicus, Matt Vine. So again, folks, remember, check us out on our streaming services, PivotShare and Patreon. And join us this Saturday night, because coming up this Saturday night, it is going to be huge. We are bringing back our signature match, Premier Pro Wrestling's Armageddon Gauntlet. The reigning Armageddon champion, also the world heavyweight champion, El Guerrero Jose Acosta, will be defending the Armageddon championship in PPW signature match. But not only that, due to the attack by Slick Willie during the triple threat match, Chase Gosling has demanded a one-on-one match against the Thick Daddy this Saturday night, and those two are going to tangle it up. A lot of bad blood after what transpired this past weekend. I'm Justin Barlow, and we'll see you folks out here this Saturday night for more Premier Pro Wrestling action.